Hi guys, my name is Kaycee J. For those of you that don't know, I make jewelry and other metaphysical items out of healing crystals and stones. I make custom items as well. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can go and check me out at Love, the number 3, Essence. I was asked to, I really wanted to kind of collab with Miss Moon Crystal on some spooky stories for you guys. It's getting close to Halloween, so I'm very excited to be doing this with her. She is such a great person and a beautiful soul, and I am so glad that I have been able to get to know her and become friends with her. So if you guys like this, I hope that you will subscribe to her channel and continue to watch our spooky stories from now until I believe October, but I'm not 100% sure. I think if this goes well, we will probably continue to make content, or she will continue to make content. I'm very excited about this story, you guys, because this is the story that really got me into the paranormal. My grandmother is really the reason why I've always been into the paranormal. She used to always tell me spooky stories and ghost stories, and we would watch paranormal shows like Taps. Was Taps back in the day. So a lot of them have their own shows that they do now that I really enjoy watching. I pretty much record all of them on my DVR just so I don't miss them, because I really enjoy the paranormal and, you know, what's on the other side after, you know, we leave this physical realm. So without further ado, I wanted to talk to you guys about the legend of the Lady of White Rock Lake. This is actually a local legend, and if you guys don't know, I am located in Dallas, Texas. Well, the lake is actually in Garland, Texas, which is a suburb that is about 10 minutes outside of Dallas. White Rock Lake was a man-made lake. They started digging and building everything in about 1909. They were not able to get water in it until 1914 because of the drought here in Texas. And the actual legend of the Lady of the Lake didn't start until about 1945, and that's when they first started seeing her. So I will actually be sharing the legend first, and then I'll share my grandmother's personal experience with the Lady of the Lake. Louise Ford Davis, on Friday, July 5th, 1935, the sister of Miss Davis, or Mrs. Davis, found her suicide note, and it said that she was going to the lake and, you know, basically that she just couldn't handle life anymore. How could I? So to prevent something tragic happening, her sister called the police immediately. As soon as she found it, she called the police, and the police rushed over to the lake to try to prevent, you know, something happening to her. So one of the detectives was driving down the lake road and looks over out of his window and sees Mrs. Davis' head bobbing up and down in the water. So with that, he runs out into the lake, drags her out of the lake, tries to perform CPR on her and bring her back, but he was not successful in doing that. They said that, in a statement, they said that had they been there a couple of minutes earlier, they probably would have been able to save her life, because she had only been in the water for probably about 5 minutes before the detective got to her. So it's really sad. It's really painful thing and really sad way to go. I feel really bad about that. There was another woman who committed suicide there as well, and her name was Rose Stone. She was found in 8 feet of water near the old abandoned boat dock. Gosh, every time I talk about this, my nose starts going crazy. So she was found near the abandoned boat dock, and there was her suicide note was pinned to her sweater, stating that whenever she is found, that, I'm sorry, I just saw something. Anyways, whenever she is found, that her family be notified of her passing. And they did do this for her. Not much is really known as to why these two ladies took their own lives, but I imagine that it had to have been something very stressful and serious going on with them for them to take this type of action. I hope that they rest in peace and have found peace. So with that being said, the actual legend of the Lady of the Lake is that on rainy nights, you would drive around the lake and see a woman hitchhiking. She would have no shoes on, and she would be in a white sheer evening gown, dripping wet from head to toe, just soaked. And when you ask her for, if she needs help, she tells you that she is trying to get home, that there's been an accident and everyone is okay, but she needs to get back home to make sure that her father doesn't worry about her. So she'll jump in the back of your car, in the back seat, just to make sure, she doesn't want to get anybody wet, is what she said, or is said that she has said. And once you actually turn on her street, which I believe is Gaston Avenue in Garland, once you turn on her street, you would turn around to let her know, well, we're here. There would be nothing in the back seat but a bottle of water. So some people, back whenever this first started happening, they would go to her address where she told them that she lived, and they would knock on the door, and an older couple would answer the door, and they would tell them that this young woman they found this young woman hitchhiking, and she said she wanted to get home, and this was the address that she had given. And in every story, they always say that the couple always has a very sad look on their face, and then they explain to whoever it is that was kind enough to give her a ride that their daughter had passed away a couple of years prior, and that every year on the anniversary of her death, people will come and knock at the door to let them know that their daughter had tried to come home again. So that's really sad. Now I'm going to tell you guys my grandmother's encounter with the Lady of the Lake. So I'm going to take you guys back to 1960, when cruising was really all they had to do, cruising and going to, restaurants and having a milkshake or some fries or something like that. Anyways, my grandmother was in high school at this time, and my great-grandmother had asked her, please do not go out tonight. Do not go to the lake. You know that, bad things happen there, and you guys need to stay away from it. Well, to be part of the cool crowd in high school, you had to go and stay at the cemetery near the lake, it has been there prior to the lake even being built. So I believe the cemetery was started in the 1800s. So it's very old, but you were supposed to stay there all night or stay there overnight. And so my grandmother went there with a couple of her friends. There was 2 boys and another girl that she had gone with. When they got there, she noticed that there was something white glowing off in the distance, but she didn't really think anything of it. And she kept talking to her friends, you know, and joking around, trying to scare each other. And about 15 minutes later, she looks over again and she notices that this white, misty thing is coming towards them, and it's actually gotten closer. So she tells the guys, you know, there's something that's moving around out there and I don't know what it is. So the guys, thinking that they were cool and tough, they went to go check it out. Well, they all went together, and when they started walking up closer to this thing, they realized that it was a lady sitting in the tall grass. And she looked to be crying. My grandmother said that you could see her dress blowing in the wind, and her hair was blowing in the wind as well. She said that she had her head in her hands like this. And they thought that she was crying, so they were going to ask her, you know, do you need help? Do you need a ride home? And when they started walking closer to her, she turned into a mist and disappeared. So that freaked them out. They went running to the car, and they never went back together again. My grandmother said she had gone multiple times after that, but never saw her again. So they said that a famous psychic in Dallas actually went and did a seance there, and they were able to contact her. And she had told them that she didn't realize she was dead. And they informed her that she was in fact dead and that it was okay to move on. And after that, nobody has really had any sightings of her or have any stories about seeing her anymore, which is good. And I really hope that she was able to move on, because she seemed like she was very sad. White Rock Lake has actually had many deaths over the years. Suicides, accidents have happened. There's been boating accidents where people have passed away. Body dumps have happened there as well, and it's a terrible thing. And I just hope that anybody who has, you know, lost their life there or has wrongfully been killed, or I'm not saying wrongfully, nobody should be killed, but anyone that has, you know, a spirit that is there, I hope that they find peace. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this story. If you did, make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're not already following Miss Moon Crystal. She is, like I said, a beautiful soul, and I just love her so much. So if you guys like this, like and subscribe. Bye guys.